Top United Nations official resigns over organization failing in duty towards Palestinians in Gaza. In his resignation letter, the former director says, "As someone who has investigated human rights in Palestine since the 1980s, lived in Gaza as a UN human rights advisor in the 1990s, and carried out several human rights missions to the country before and since, this is deeply personal to me," he wrote. In Gaza, civilian homes, schools, churches, mosques, and medical institutions are wantonly attacked as thousands of civilians are censorship. In the West Bank, including occupied Jerusalem, homes are seized and reassigned based entirely on race. And violent settler pogroms are accompanied by Israeli military units. Across the land, apartheid rules. Find his whole resignation letter on the internet and read it. It is interesting and worth it. Check this out. This is the former director right here.
And it's clear that many states, including the United States itself, have are not only in breach of their obligation to ensure respect vis-a-vis those states over which they have influence, in this case Israel, but have been actively complicit, actively engaged in arming and diplomatic cover, in political support, intelligence support, and so on. That is a breach of international humanitarian law. We need the opposite of that. We need all states, members of the United Nations, to use whatever influence they have to ensure an end to these attacks on civilians in Gaza, to ensure as well accountability for the perpetrators, redress for the victims, protection for the vulnerable there. It's interesting, Amy, we have a formula at the United Nations that is applied to virtually every other conflict situation. But when it comes to the situation in Israel and Palestine, there's a different set of rules, apparently. And that's